Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're breaking down a really urgent, honestly kind of provocative thesis from Emad Mostaque. You probably know him as the founder of Stability AI. Well, in a recent deep dive, he laid out a timeline for artificial intelligence that it's moving way faster than almost anyone actually realizes. We're going to map out exactly what he sees coming down the pipeline, what this means for the global economy, and honestly, what it means for human meaning itself. How do we prepare for a world that's literally about to change forever? Let's get into it.
We've got to start with a stark, ticking clock. 800. According to Mostaque, counting down from when he originally mapped this out in late 2023, we are roughly 800 days away from a massive phase transition. And by that, I mean a point where the economic value of human cognitive labor effectively hits zero, or, crazily enough, even goes negative. Think about that for a second. We're approaching an era where, in a lot of settings, an AI isn't just faster or smarter than you or me, it actually makes human brainpower an economic disadvantage. Why? Because AI operates at the speed of computation, not biology.
This puts humanity at an absolute existential fork in the road. As Mostaque puts it, we're going two ways, complete destruction or we're going to the world of abundance. It's a coin toss right now, literally a 50-50 shot, because this tech is advancing so exponentially, he calculates we're facing those exact odds, either stepping into an unprecedented era of global abundance, we're talking eradicating disease, ending hunger, the whole shebang, or, on the flip side, facing complete societal collapse if we mishandle this transition.
Let's zoom out and look at how this builds historically. For centuries, right, our economy has rewarded humans for removing friction. During the Industrial Revolution, we built machines to substitute physical labor. We essentially replaced our muscles. Well, today we are smack in the middle of replacing cognitive labor. We're replacing our brains. And very soon we're going to enter this total replacement era, where both cognitive and physical tasks are seamlessly integrated and handled entirely by AI systems and physical robotics. To make this super concrete, let's look at this staggering number, $1.50. Mostaque uses the American trucking industry as a prime example here. Over 1 million jobs rely directly on this sector. But within just a few years, those physical jobs could be replaced by something like a Tesla Optimus robot. Imagine a robot that can physically walk up, open the truck door, sit in the cab, and drive the route. The fully amortized cost to operate that robot is just $1.50 an hour. There are no breaks, there's no sleep, and the cherry on top for the corporation, the cost is fully tax deductible.
And honestly, that speed disparity becomes even more alarming when we look at cognitive jobs. Human processing tops out at roughly 50 tokens per second. That's essentially the biological speed limit of how fast we can read. But future AI processing? Companies are already etching AI models directly onto silicon, allowing these agents to communicate with each other behind closed doors at 15,000 to 50,000 words per second. It's insane. The gap between us and the machine is widening at a blistering pace that our biology it simply can't match.
Which brings us to Section 1. 3 paths to the future.
Depending on exactly how we navigate these next 800 days or so, society is going to land in one of 3 very distinct scenarios. Number 1 is digital feudalism. Number 2 is the great fragmentation. And number 3 is human-AI symbiosis. It's absolutely crucial that we understand what each of these means for our daily lives, our governments, and, our personal freedom. There's a really stark contrast between the worst and best case scenarios here. On one hand, you have digital feudalism. This is where unaccountable corporate monopolies control the AI. In this world, humanity is basically renting machine gods. They own the superintelligence, and we essentially surrender our agency and our cognitive independence just to access it. But on the other hand, we have human-AI symbiosis. This is the utopian path that Mostaque champions. It's a world where open-source tools unlock this sort of Star Trek-level abundance, giving universal agency back to us as individuals so we can govern ourselves and solve massive global problems. But there's also a middle path, which Mostaque calls the great fragmentation. This happens if governments step in, treating AI like a supreme weapon or some existential threat to their power. That leads to nationalized, heavily siloed AI systems. So imagine having an American AI, a Chinese AI, an Australian AI, each dictating a highly personalized, state-approved truth to their citizens. Mostaque points out this could effectively mean the end of open, democratic elections because these incredibly persuasive state-controlled information spheres could manipulate public perception flawlessly.
Moving on to Section 2, the nature of machine intelligence.
We are fundamentally shifting how these systems are actually built.
Current AI relies on your standard silicon chips, doing basic matrix multiplication to find the shortest logic path. But future AI? That's going to be powered by thermodynamic chips. These operate way more like actual biological brains, using something called free energy minimization. Mostaque suggests that as we move toward these embodied continuous learning systems, they might actually generate a sense of continuous experience. Philosophers call this qualia. So the hardware itself is changing in a way that might allow machines to actually experience reality, not just simulate it.
As these systems evolve and merge closer with our own biology, think brain-computer interfaces, we are going to be faced with some wildly profound questions. For instance, would you push a button to turn off your sadness? Mostaque argues that within a decade, you might literally have a neural implant that lets you just shut off grief, stress, or physical pain on demand. Plus, with AI acting as this perfect, infallible human lie detector, analyzing your micro-expressions and vital signs, we're going to face some incredibly deep, personal questions about human emotion. Do we actually want to artificially alter our own reality?
Let's look at Section 3, Reclaiming Human Agency. Instead of just sitting around in existential dread, Mostaque insists we have to transition to actionable empowerment. The key here? Forming the human colossus. He strongly argues that humans can solve absolutely any problem in the universe, as long as we coordinate around common positive stories to increase human agency, rather than just letting machines replace it. We have to demand open, decentralized AI models that amplify our abilities, rather than surrendering all our power to a few massive tech corporations or paranoid governments.
So here is how you can actively steer the future step by step. First, use the AI tools daily. Whether you're organizing your health data or writing code, just get familiar with them. Don't avoid them out of fear. Second, build creatively with family and friends. Mostaque suggests using these tools not just to work faster at your job, but to actually jam together. Get your friends, use AI to make a movie-length version of your favorite book, write a song, or create some crazy art with your kids. And third, reclaim your creative agency. Actively expand your own neuroplasticity by realizing that the traditional historical barriers to creation, they've literally been completely removed.
I really want to leave you with this final, incredibly provocative thought from Mostaque. The last few human-only breakthroughs are literally in the next few years, and that's it. Let that sink in. Very soon, AI will be making the vast majority of scientific and artistic discoveries for us. So the big question I leave you with is this: what will you choose to create and share with the people you love, while we still have the privilege of making those final, human-only discoveries? Thanks so much for exploring this explainer with me today. Let's keep learning, keep building, and absolutely